Types and types of miracles. You see, to the man of science, suppose you want to approach a man of science, and you want to prove to him that this book is a miracle. Everything in here is a miracle. But now you have to, not just saying it is not enough. You have to prove it to him. So look, I'd like to know from you, the man of science, the atheist, the agnostic, the man of learning, generally is a man of learning. He said there is no God. He knows so much. He knows how to account for things. He said, look, this is how it's working, the solar system. You see, our Earth is rotating on its axis at a speed of 1,000 miles an hour. It gives us 24 hours for one revolution. And this is what happens. It's an axis, and this is the use of the axis, why it's turning like that and not perpendicular. He said, you see, if it was doing like this, then there will be no seasons, there won't be any life, and all. He'll explain to you. Beautiful explanation he'll give you. Why this and why that? Why the gases are in this combination? Why not that? I said, look, we won't be here to argue if it wasn't so. Everything must be the way it is. The distance from the sun, the distance from the moon, everything must be exact. You bring the sun any nearer, no life. If you take it any further, no life. If you reduce the speed of this earth by half, no life. If you double it, no life. Amazing. Everything is made for us as if tailor-made. You need this exact. And who tells you all this? The guy who doesn't believe in God. He's telling you all these things. So you ask him, I said, look, this, our solar system, how did it come about? Tell us. And he's ready. He's ready to share with you. That he's not a miser. This man of science, you prod him, you ask him for information, and he'll come out. He wants to tell you because it gives him joy, pleasure. So I said, you see, this universe of ours was one mass, millions of years ago. And there was a big bang. And out of that big bang, the solar system came into being. Everything started moving. And since there was no resistance in space, and it carries on, and everything carries on, and all like machine is carrying on. MashaAllah. Beautiful. I said, when did you find this out? He said, yesterday. No, really, 50 years is yesterday in the history of man. 50 years ago, he said yesterday, just now. And it's a fact. 50 years is yesterday in the history of man. And an illiterate man in the desert, 1,400 years ago, who had no telescopes and no mathematical, he couldn't work out anything in mathematics, nothing. In the desert, no libraries, no learned people. Nobody in the world knew at that time. At that time in the history of mankind, this man says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Do not the unbelievers see? This guy who said there is no God, can't he see? Can't he see? As if Allah is saying that, look, if the Bedouin in the desert, if he didn't grasp my presence, I can understand. This barbarian, this cannibal in the Congo, if he can't understand, I can understand. I can sympathize with him. But you, with all your learning, how can you not see him? أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Do not the unbelievers see أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتْ رَتْقًا, that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one unit of creation. فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا, and he split them asunder. And where did life come from? Ask him, the biologist. Where did life? He said, from the water. Billions of years ago, life originated in the sea. Everything, protoplasm and amoeba, and this is what happened. And a group of them, they chose for themselves that we'll make ourselves into an elephant. Another group said we'll make ourselves into a man. Another group will say we'll make ourselves into a monkey. Another into a cockroach. Another into a lice. But where did life come from? He says water. When did you find that out? He said yesterday. Because 50 years is yesterday in the history of man. It's a recent discovery. An illiterate man in the desert, he couldn't have told you that, could he? 1,400 years ago said, never. But listen to him. He says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ, and he's made from water every living thing. أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, will you then not believe? How can you not believe? You ought to believe. This is what your knowledge is telling you, and this man is telling you 1,400 years ago in the desert, he spelled it out for you. Where did he get the knowledge from? Except from the creator of the Big Bang. Except from the creator of all creatures, life from water. How did Muhammad know this? Did he have microscopes? Did he go to the sea and look for it in the water, any life germs? No. This is coming from the Almighty. It's a miracle that an illiterate man can tell you this 1,400 years ago in the desert, which you are only confirming today.